Hello guys, today I am going to show you one of the most amazing chess puzzles I have ever seen. It is said that even world champions like Garry Kasparov and Anatoly Karpov couldn't solve the puzzle, but the 8th world chess champion Mikhail Tal was able to solve it after thinking for a while. Even modern chess engines like Stockfish 10, which is the most powerful chess engine, cannot solve the puzzle. So here I have set up the position of the puzzle in my Lichess board editor and turn on the analysis. So you can see Stockfish is evaluating the position as negative 3.5, which means that it is thinking that it is black who is winning, because whenever this number grows more negative, then it is black who is winning, and whenever this number goes to the positive side, it is white who is winning. So before thinking about solving the puzzle, let me try to give you a few insights to the puzzle. So white is threatening to queen the pawn on d8, but not really, because if white goes forward and wins the pawn immediately, then black has this move knight to f7 check, forking the king and the queen, and black will win back the queen, and from this position black is up material, so it is black who is winning from this position. So winning the pawn immediately doesn't help white, but Stockfish is not finding any other move because it is suggesting to win the pawn immediately. But as we will see, there are other moves for white which will win the game for white. So you can feel free to pause the video and think of the puzzle for a while and try to find the best moves for white. Even if you don't find all the moves, try to find the first few moves, because this puzzle is not easy as even the engine doesn't see the move. So for those who want to just enjoy the show, I will tell you the solution, and here you go. So the first correct move for white is actually knight to f6 check. And now black has three legal moves. King can go to h8, king can go to g7, or king can go to g6. But we can rule out h8 immediately, because if king goes to h8, now we can now Stockfish sees that it is already made in 4-4 black, so white is clearly winning because we can queen the pawn now with check. So black doesn't have time for any forks because king has to move, and after this it is easily winning for white being a queen up. So king to h8 is ruled out. So what about king to g6? Well, this is also not good. Stockfish sees that it is made in 13 immediately, so the correct move Stockfish is suggesting, it is bishop to h5 check. Now if black takes the knight, then it's again queen, white queens with check, so there is no time for any fork. Black king has to move, and being a queen up, white will win. So we cannot take the knight. Stockfish is suggesting king to f5, but this is also not good because now we can queen, and the forking square is controlled by the white bishop. So if you try to fork the king and the queen, black will just take your knight and white will win the game easily. So the only correct move after knight to f6 check is actually king to g7. Still, Stockfish is not finding that white is winning. Rather, it is showing more negative evaluation, which means it is saying that black is more winning. But as you will see after a few moves, the evaluation suddenly shifts from negative side to positive side. So Stockfish will finally figure out that it is white who was actually winning the position. So after this, Stockfish is suggesting the correct move. It is knight to h5 check. Now again, the king has a few options. The king cannot go to the back rank because the pawn queens with check, and will win the game for white. And if king goes to f7, then it blocks the forking square for his own knight. So now we can win the pawn, and there is no fork because the forking square is taken by the king. So black will lose. So the only correct move after knight to h5 check is king to g6, but after king to g6 you will see the evaluation suddenly shift, and it is now showing that plus 7 for So Stockfish finally figured out that it was white who was winning the position. So after king to g6, the correct move for white is bishop to c2 check, sacrificing the knight. The king cannot go anywhere else because if we go to e7, then it will block the forking square for his knight, and there is only two legal moves, uh, f7 and h5, so he has to take the knight. But now we can queen the pawn without fear, because if now black delivers the fork, well, Stockfish is suggesting other moves, but I will show the line which is more fun. So if now black goes for the fork, now knight to f7 check, forking. Now we don't care, we just bring our king closer to the black king. So king to e6, we don't even care to capture the knight. He captures my queen on d8 check, and now we play king to f5, and all of a sudden the black king doesn't have a lot of squares because h4 is taken by my pawn on g3. These three squares are taken by my king, and if bishop to d2 lands, then it's checkmate. After the pawn blocks, we will capture the pawn and it's checkmate. So the only way to prevent checkmate, well, Stockfish already found that it is mate in 9, but I will show the fun in the position. So the only way to prevent checkmate is push the pawn to e2, blocking this diagonal. But the bishop can make use of other useful diagonals. So bishop to e4, now threatening bishop to f3, which is also leading to checkmate. So now black cannot queen the pawn. If black brings out the queen, then bishop to f3, it's checkmate. So the only way to prevent checkmate is to under promote to a knight to control the f3 square. So black has to under promote to a knight which controls the f3 square, but now we can make use of other useful diagonals for our bishop. We can go bishop to d5 followed by bishop to c4, then bishop to e2 is checkmate. So the correct move is bishop to d5. Now our bishop will come to c4, then e2, which will be checkmate. So the only way to prevent is again push the pawn and bishop to c4, now threatening bishop to e2 checkmate. So again black has to under promote to a knight to control the e2 square, but now we can again make use of other useful diagonals. We can go bishop to b5 followed by bishop to e8 with checkmate. So bishop to b5. Now Stockfish is suggesting to block the bishop immediately with knight to c6, but we will just take the knight, and after knight to c7 we can go bishop to a4, and finally there is no stopping of bishop to d1 with checkmate. If if black tries to uh, stay give more resistance, he can play knight to e2, threatening to take the pawn on g3 and maybe hope for escaping, but it's already too late because we have bishop to d1 pinning the knight to the king, so the knight cannot move. So now it's really all over. It's made into any move black plays. Let's say c4, we will just take the knight on e2 with check, then this knight has to block and we will take the knight as well, and it is checkmate. So this is the puzzle which I wanted to share with you all. Hope you enjoyed the puzzle. It's a really unique puzzle because even grandmasters and even the modern chess engines couldn't find the first few moves. So hope you enjoy the puzzle. Feel free to like, share, comment and subscribe to my channel if you enjoy my content, and and thank you.